Three very interesting official visitors set to visit the Tigers this weekend.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zach Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Kyle Rush, Auburn Mess Sport legend, also known as the Charlie 5. He hosts the Top Button podcast and is the man over at the barn, auburn.com. Can the offense score enough points against Georgia on Saturday? We'll take a stab at that, as well as what this week means. Cannot be overstated. Something big could happen one way or the other. But some official visitors this weekend that are a little interesting. Kyle, Lasiah Jackson, the corner who's committed to Stanford. Caden Johnson, the tight end, committed to Texas A&M. Then Nikau Heppy, the offensive tackle, who is committed to the Auburn Tigers. There's going to be a ton of unofficial visitors too. We're just talking about the officials that we have in front of us right now, Kyle, but I think all three of these guys are important for different reasons.
Yeah, I mean, Lasiah Jackson, you're talking about a top 100 player in the whole country, and you don't have a defensive back. You don't have a true corner, I think, committed, and this guy's 6'3", 170 pounds. I mean, from Georgia. I always wonder about kids that commit to Stanford, especially now that, you know, the conferences are what they are and whatnot. You wonder if they have different things on their mind as far as what they're looking at in college, but there has been a lot of interest, it seems like, with Auburn, and getting him here on an official visit would be big. I would imagine he's looked at, hey, what Auburn's been able to do with a lot of these younger defensive backs, playing early and playing a lot. And hey, I got a chance to come in and compete right away. So, man, if you could, and it feels like Auburn's trending in the right direction there. If you could flip that guy, that would be a huge win. I mean, another top 100 player again. You can't really beat that.
No doubt. And he's one of those guys that seems to really like Auburn. My big question, whether it's Lasiah Jackson, Caden Johnson, I mean, Nikau Heppy, might be a little bit different of a pitch because he's already committed. But what's the sales pitch to these guys right now? Because it's been obvious up to this point where it's like future. This past offseason has been, all right, we're ready. Come on, go ahead and get in the boat. And now you're in a spot where, like, you don't really seem to have any sort of momentum on the field. There's a lot of people questioning everything about your program, whether some of it I think is fair, some of it I think is a little like
premature, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, a lot of this has to do with like what we said was an option going into the season. But still, like, perception's reality with recruiting. We've said that a million times. We'll say it a million more times. So what do you think the pitch is for these guys? Because you can't just sit them down and be like, yeah, we're still trying to figure it out, but come help us.
Lasiah Jackson, that pitch is easy. Hey, the defense they're ballers. And we play guys early and we play guys often. We're figuring some offensive stuff out, but you're going to play at an elite level. You're going to play early. You're going to get to play early more than likely, and you got a chance to make an impact. We're developing on the defensive side. Like, you will get better, and you have a really good shot, especially when I think you'll start seeing some guys start hitting the draft at a lot higher rates and higher rounds, or I guess would you say lower rounds? Is it high or low when you're talking about the
earlier
draft?
rounds?
I'll just say earlier rounds.
Earlier or later, yeah.
Now, the offensive guys is a completely other story. That's a tough one. That's a tough pitch. I mean, you got Nikau Heppy, who's an offensive tackle. Look, he's probably not one you have to super duper worry about because I don't think he's got just a ton of offers out there. Caden Johnson, also, I'm not even 1,000% sure that's you really are even going to take another tight end in this class if Auburn wants to take him. But just taking those guys out of it and just talking about offensive players in general, boy, you're really shooting yourself in the foot with your sales pitch to those guys. Like, what faith right now would any of them have that they could come in and be developed at a high level and then have any type of production that could get them to the next level? Like, it would be, you are a heck of a salesperson if you can get that done. And it's going to continue to get harder.
Yes.
Every single game this season. This season is the sort of I don't want to say jumping off point. That's too extreme, but this season,
I don't think it is extreme. Like, I think
maybe it's not.
I think we're going to know. We're going to know if it works or not. And I think Saturday goes a long way in proving some of that, or at least, making it even more intense when Missouri comes to town, or when you go to Arkansas, or whatever it might be. It makes the rest of the schedule. Every game is crucial. So yeah, I mean,
maybe you're right. Maybe it is a.
I'm trying to think of like what a pitch could be for the offensive players, and the best one I can think of outside of NIL, and Auburn's a great place, and the environment Saturday is going to be electric. Is, hey, we really believe in Deuce Knight. You're going to get to play with Deuce Knight. He's the future of Auburn football.
Yeah,
that's all I got. That's the best one I've got.
and the only other one would be that if you had a plan in place on what the offense becomes after this year, if it's like you got some other sales, like we're maybe move in this direction on offense, whether it be bringing in a real offensive coordinator, or I guess that would be another sales pitch that you could have, but that would even be later in the year.
Can you do that right now?
I mean, I guess you're right. I don't really know what
I don't think you can do that yet, because Derek Nix is still here. Yeah, and apparently he's like this. He's an awesome recruiter, and so like, does that even help you?
It doesn't. It would make it. I'm trying to think of any possible way that you could sell this in a positive way, and I'm really struggling. You got to do it on the field.
Just win.
Bottom line.
Win a freaking game. Win a big game.
Be okay with the offense not looking like you want it to look, and just let it be what it is. Just go win. Exactly. And that's those kind of things will take care of themselves after the fact. We're just shaking our head right now.
I just don't know.
It's a tough one. It'd be a tough pitch. I don't even, again.
There's just so much excitement and energy going into the season, and it's like, man. But look, this week means a lot. This Saturday means a lot. That's next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Quo. Quo, previously Open Phone. One of the tools that makes a huge difference for business owners is Quo. It's the same great business phone system you've heard me talk about before. It's just got a name. And here's why it matters. Every missed call is money left on the table. What are you doing if you call a business and you need something, Kyle, and they don't answer? You're calling their competitor. Yeah. You can't let that happen if you're running a small business. Quo can take care of that. It's the number one business phone system that streamlines customer communications. See why over 90% of businesses trust Quo, formerly Open Phone. Get started free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/lockedoncollege. That is QUO.com/lockedoncollege. And if you got existing numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Alumni Hall. We all love Alumni Hall. It's the best place to buy Auburn gear. We say it over and over and over again. You can just get lost in the place. You go in saying, I need another Auburn polo. That's great. But you may just walk out with, Auburn branded, a cornhole set, or an Auburn branded, I think I saw a grill in there the last time I went in, or a bunch of different, Yeti. Cool. They've got everything from clothes to anybody in the family to stuff for your walls, for your tailgate. Pets. That's right. Head over to alumnihall.com. Of course, they've got 3 great physical locations in Auburn, Opelika, and Huntsville. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Can you think of a time where a game felt like it had so much on the line, in the sense of there's a chance that Auburn puts it all together and they've got a situation where they're able to score points and the defense does what it's done all year and they find a way to win? And it's the biggest win at the Hugh Freeze era.
Yep.
Be incredible. And the other side of it is, if you choose to not have any sort of offensive identity at all, and you just don't get into the hands of your playmakers enough and you lose and the offense looks terrible, there's a world where you have a new head coach on Sunday.
Yeah. I don't know that it would have to be.
I don't know. I'm not entirely bought in that that's going to happen, but that's what it feels like. Like that's what the chatter is right now.
It does feel like you're on that edge.
Yeah. And I can't remember a time where it's felt like this, because like with Harsin, it was the debate was not like, do you either do it during the season or do you wait till the end? Like that was the discussion. It wasn't, there was no if we should keep him or not.
Right.
And then Gus was kind of the same thing. Like Gus was like, okay, like, are we just going to do this again or not?
Right.
And it was like the third or fourth year that we've done that for. And it was just kind of like, whatever. So like, this feels different. I'm going to be honest. I don't like how it feels at all. But I think that's where we're at right now, whether it's true or not. And I'm not sure it's entirely true. Just to be 100% honest with you, I'm not sure it's entirely true, but that's what it feels like.
To me, it depends a lot on how the game actually plays out, even in a loss. Like I really believe that if you do something similar, if you have something similar to what you've seen against Oklahoma and against Texas A&M, and it's communication, it's penalties, it's playing with a sense of panic. You know, like you're down by 3 scores,
sure,
and really not ever getting into your offense. I don't care about pitch counts. I don't care about Cam Coleman making sure he has 6 targets. I don't care about any of that. What I want to see are first downs. What I want to see are offensive linemen that know the snap count. What I want to see is being able to just do something that moves the ball forward. If you don't see that, and it's the exact same thing with 2 weeks to prepare, I don't even really know how bad. I mean, it could get really bad and get really bad quickly. Because like at that point in time, like what you've had 4 weeks, man. Like you've had 4 weeks and literally nothing's changed. Like what do you do? What do you do? How do you go forward at all? But if you go out there and you put it's a good battle back and forth, and you're moving the ball and you're scoring some points, and then you lose, at the end, you run out of gas, whatever. Like that's another scenario. But I'm with you. Like if that first scenario I described happens, like things could get ugly in so many ways, from a recruiting standpoint, from roster retention standpoint. Like obviously kids can't go in the portal right now, but people haven't already started thinking about maybe like shutting it down or whatever, and just making sure they don't get injured. I know you can't really redshirt at this point in time, but
right.
But on the flip side, if you go out and win, you're 4-2 through the first 6 games, which we said if you could go 4-2 through the first 6 games, you got a shot to win your next 5.
Oh, so, I think if you win, it fixes everything. A lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if everything.
But
I think most of the fan base, not all, but most of the fan base would look past the last 2 weeks if you beat Georgia.
Yeah, and maybe you could say, hey, look, we were really trying to get the ball to our playmakers, and we just decided, hey, we couldn't. We obviously struggle doing that, so we're going to do what we do best. It's not going to be pretty, and maybe it's going to even be ugly at times, but it's going to be efficient, and we're going to be able to move the ball a little bit and have our best chance to win. I think everybody would respect the crap out of that, especially if you go win the game.
Right.
And then you got a chance to out-talent, I think, the next 4 or 5 teams that you play doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I also think if you even just show a willingness to change what you do, even if it's close, I think you'll get more grace too.
Good point.
I think we're past that, but I still think, once again, like perception is reality in a lot of these cases. Like I think a lot of people would say, like, you know what, he tried. Like I said he wouldn't, and he did. He shifted to trying to have a running attack, whatever.
Does that happen or not?
That's my guess is no. Yeah. And we'll talk more about the offense in a second. So, you mentioned a few different options. What I think is the most realistic option is like a 21 124 to like 13 to 14-ish type game. Georgia low 20s, Auburn low teens, maybe they get into the high teens. I just don't trust this offense. There's going to be a lot of people calling for his job in that scenario. And I'm not saying that they're wrong to do that, but I will ask the question, like 3 close games in situations where we're like, man, if we could just get one of them going into the season, and you lose them all by a combined score of, however many points, it wouldn't be a lot.
Right.
Is that right? Like, is that like, is that logically and emotionally consistent? I don't know that it is, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
Yeah. And that's the part that's so tough, because you're not super getting blown out. It's just the fact of the matter is you're almost regressing on one side of the ball while the other side of the ball is getting better. And that's been like a theme for 3 years or 2.5 years now. So like, how does that ever change? Like, how do you ever get out of that hole? Even if you're losing close games. I mean, quality losses don't get you anything in college football as much as they do in college basketball, because you got to win the game. So it feels, I can see the argument that it's super emotional, and then I can see the logical argument that it would make sense. It's a really weird, I feel like you're in a really weird gray area, because it feels like you're on the edge of going one way or the other. Like,
well, and some of it, I think the administration has to feel like, where are the players with this? Yeah. Are we going to be able to keep the roster together, even if like Hugh Freeze does stick around? Let's say he gets it going and they go 8-4, but they have a feeling that they're going to lose a lot of these guys. Well, then at that point, it's like, well, why not just start over anyway?
Yeah, I think when you're making a decision, the current roster has to be the bottom of the list.
Oh,
honestly.
Interesting.
Because the idea that you can save the roster, I think, is really, if things fall apart, is really low anyway. And you can always go replace them. And you've probably overspent to keep a lot of these guys anyway.
That's probably true.
So I don't think you worry about the roster at all.
The reason I continue to bring that up is because I think that's one of the best arguments for keeping Freeze right now. Yeah. And so if that's low, I think that lessens the argument.
I don't know that it's low.
Keeping Freeze.
I don't know that it's low. I'm just assuming more than likely.
I understand. Yeah. I think it's a great point.
If you're Cam Coleman, like why would you want to stay, in this offense for when you have one more year left, unless there's a massive shift after this game. I mean, it's just reality.
Can you promise that you're going to bring in like a hot shot coordinator or something? We're going to totally change the offense. It's not going to be my offense. It's going to be so-and-so's offense, whatever. Like, does that help? And I think it would.
That may be a scenario where, if that's a change that's willing to be made, and that's something that could retain the roster, that may be something to look at.
I'm going to be honest, for Auburn, like, let's take emotion and logic. Like, let's just go strictly with like
that's the best scenario.
I think if there was a way where Hugh Freeze said, "Hey, look, I messed up. Either the game has passed me by, or the
job's too big now."
Yeah, right. And I don't think that'd be a bad thing. Like, I think all of the top coaches right now, most of the top coaches right now, they're hiring 2 good coordinators, and they're running the program while the offensive coordinator runs the offense, the defensive coordinator runs the defense. And you're in those meetings, right? But you're not the game plan. You're not calling the plays. I think Hugh Freeze is good at that stuff.
Me too.
And if he could just give that up, I think that would go a long way. Does it help you keep the roster? Possibly, it could. You don't have to fully start over. I don't know. I think that would be. That's kind of what I'm pulling for, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, again,
do enough to save the season, and then this offseason make some major changes structurally on the offensive side of the football.
If you could limp somehow to 7-5 or 8-4, and then say, this is what we're doing. We're going to go spend $2.5 million on whatever we spend on DJ Durkin. We're going to go spend the exact same amount on an offensive coordinator.
And what a pitch that would be, though. Hey, you come in, you've got a young quarterback to work for. You've got an offensive line that's going to be like ready to go because they're bringing so many guys back. And obviously a lot of this depends on retention, but I think that would be attractive.
Yep. I mean, I'm with you. I still wonder how tough that's going to be, because there's going to be there's a law of diminishing returns at some point in time when you have to continue to up someone's pay to stay at a school. Like we were talking about this as far as like head coaches and whatnot, who's doing a really good job. And we're talking about the guy at Texas Tech, his name escapes me. And why would he want to leave Texas Tech? Because, they're doing what they're doing in recruiting. And it's like, well, here's the deal. The same player that you have, that if you got two schools you got Texas Tech and you got Auburn, the same player is going to cost more to go to Texas Tech regardless than they may go to Auburn. So you look at that same scenario right now, there's that same scenario with Auburn and other schools. So like there's going to be, because of, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because they're struggling. So there's going to be at some point in time where the cost to retain a player is not going to be worth it. Than just going and finding another one. So at the end of the day, you just got to figure out some way to win and limp to 8-4, and then reassess everything. And if that offensive coordinator deal could be a huge pitch.
Right. Can the offense score against Georgia? What's that number need to be? That's next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. This line's closer than I thought it would be.
It's way closer.
Way closer. It's been 3.5. I'm checking to see if it's moved any. It's 4.5 now. So we've kind of gone back and forth and back and forth.
I've only seen it.
Snip, snap.
What? I've only seen it on FanDuel at 4.5, but I've seen it other places.
It was a 3.5 yesterday when we recorded.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. I'm still surprised. Yeah. So if you feel confident about Auburn, or if you feel confident about Georgia, which is what a lot of the comments have been lately, head over to FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5. And if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Kia Autosport of Columbus. What comes to mind when I say Kia Sorento, Kyle?
Awesome.
Excellence. Versatility. Head over to Kia Autosport of Columbus if you're in the Auburn, Opelika area, if you're in the Atlanta area. Columbus, short drive away. They're right off of Whittlesey Boulevard. They'll take care of you. They've got so many different options. If you get there and you say, hey, I heard about you guys from Locked On Auburn, you're saving $500 right there off of any new Kia. So head over to KiaAutosportColumbus.com, or once again, go check them out in person at right off of Whittlesey Boulevard in Columbus. Kia Autosport, thank you for sponsoring today's show. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. How much does the offense need to do? Obviously, I mean, turnovers has not been a problem. It's been the whole points thing. That's how you win football games. You got to score points. And I know we heard from Hugh Freeze yesterday, and it's like, whatever. Until you consistently run the football or put together any sort of offense that has an identity, I'm just at the point where I'm like, I'm just not going to believe this is going to happen. I'm at that point. I have been broken and crushed by it. That's where I'm at right now.
Why would you? Why would you think anything different?
Yeah, no, I mean, I should have been at this point a while ago.
You get to the point where it's like, man, surely this won't happen again. Like, surely they will go back to finding something that works and building from that. Like, surely they won't continue to keep dropping back to pass, right? Like, surely that's not going to happen. I'm kind of at that point with you as well. Like, it's just really hard for me to fathom. Now, Georgia does not have a great pass rush. They're not mega impressive as far as messing with the quarterbacks very often. I mean, they don't have I know sacks, you don't put a ton of value in sacks, but they're one of the lowest in the conference as far as sacks go. So I hope that we don't look at that and think we got an advantage there and we can throw the ball. I'm with you. You got to figure out how to get. I will say this: Hugh has said we got to run the ball more a bunch, but the last teleconference when he talked about specifically even 2 and 3 yard gains are should be the goal, like good plays, like forward plays. That to me, that's I guess being that specific gives me a little bit of hope that we're going to try to change some things.
You're doing it. You're talking yourself into it. You're doing it.
But it's like I'm going to be disappointed either way. Like if I think it's going to happen and it doesn't, or I think it happens and it doesn't work, like I'm going to be disappointed, just as disappointed either way. So it's like it's not. I'm not going to trick myself into not getting disappointed. I'm still going to be mad. But I don't know. I think Auburn's got to score at least 21 points, maybe at least 22 points. Maybe Georgia scores somewhere between 17 and 20. And can you get there? Like it's going to be. It seems like it would be a.
I think there's going to be a mismatch, Kyle. I texted with the Locked On Georgia guys yesterday, and I'm like, hey, why? What's the deal like with the health situation on the O-line? And they were both like, how long you got? It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute to get through it all.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And so like this screams low scoring. Yeah, this screams like a low scoring type thing. So take care of the football, run it, and hope you break one and hope your defense sets you up for a good spot. Like I don't think that's a crazy thing to hope for and to plan for.
21-17 would be. I'd be just ecstatic with a win like that.
That'd be awesome. I mean, it changes your tenure. It changes the trajectory of the program because then all of a sudden it's like, I mean, I talked about this a little bit with A&M where it's like if you would have beat A&M, everybody then would have been like, oh, maybe they did get screwed in the Oklahoma game.
Exactly.
If you win Saturday, it then turns into, well, they did have to face 2 top 10 teams on the road back-to-back weeks. Like that's pretty tough. That's what it turns into.
Yeah, and when you look at Auburn's 3-2 versus some of the other 3-2s that are still ranked in the AP Top 25, they don't really compare either. And I think that would be taken a lot into account as well. If you could win, people would say, well, now let's look at some of these 3-2s before they played their 6th game, because Auburn's played a pretty tough schedule, just like you said,
right?
And it would bring a lot more value back to the schedule that they played so far.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh my goodness, they're like P4 games have been at Baylor, at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, and then they finally get a good game at home and they win. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, seems maybe Auburn's not too bad.
Maybe
it changes everything. So you got to do it. Got to go out there. Like, what a great opportunity Hugh Freeze has. What a great opportunity Jackson Arnold has.
Man,
you have an incredible opportunity in front of you. Can you do something about it? I don't know. Kyle, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
Absolutely. Go to thebarnauburn.com. It's our message board. Jump in the conversation. Have some fun there. The Barn Auburn on YouTube or the Barn Podcast Network, anywhere you get a podcast.
Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked on Auburn.